Shows don't get any better than this, people. When you wake up to information that is life-changing overnight, you got to run the crossing lines Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. The start is now. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Jeff Nadu. It's the people. It's what we always do. And today, Jeff, I guarantee you the topics are going to deliver, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to rock.
Late. It was like 1 a.m.
Yeah, Jeff, there you go. We're ready. Come on.
It was late. But yeah, I'm going to discuss why
yes,
this was the right decision by a wide margin.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes down to money, right?
Yep.
Look, throw in quality of life and all that stuff, but a lot going on. A big trade for sure.
We're going to hit that hard. And by the way, Jeff absolutely loves the draft. We got more draft coverage than you need. World Cup action, Major League Baseball. And I'll tell you why Jazz Chisholm is an idiot here for the New York Yankees. Viral stuff, everything. And Jeff teased yesterday. You have to wait a little bit longer in the show. Jeff's take on why Tony Soprano, not the greatest looking body, but a powerful human being in charge. Why he can get the ladies, and also not just the character itself, Jeff. Like, you still got to be able to perform in those scenes. And apparently, Tony Soprano / James Gandolfini could actually do that. But other simple topics, Jeff, just to come in and, say hello to you today. Social media sent out a tweet yesterday. I told you I was getting a PlayStation 5. Got one last night. Come on, man. Join me. You going to join me? Come on.
I don't have time to play PlayStation. I don't have time to play little kid games, Donnie. I got more important
games, man. You get out there and slay some beasts out here.
I want to be
Donnie.
Yelled at. You're almost 50 years old. Man.
I love this stuff.
Listen, yeah, it's fine. I like learning about the mafia. We all have things we like. No knock on you. It's just
need a vice.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Nothing wrong with that. It's a way better one than some people's vices,
That's true. It is a much better. By the way, also on like vices, Jeff, now that, the sit down sort of calmed down, ran its course at this point, give me a little future Jeff Nadu here to start the show. Are we going to be using that YouTube channel for anything, or maybe pushing a new topic out there? Or are you just going to sit back and relax and let the summer simmer?
Well, this is actually, I would say breaking news, but I'm actually in the process of working alongside someone else. I'm gonna more be helping them behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We're gonna make good use of some of the channels. I don't know if we're gonna completely use the YouTube channel. Look, I don't always close doors. The videos are important. I think they're stuff that should stay up. So the YouTube will probably just stay up. But I do have some other things that will be in crime that I'm doing. It'll be more behind the scenes though.
And by the way, if you guys aren't following Crossing Lines on X, it's Crossing X Lines here, which I'm going right now. There is a link. I am hitting that retweet right now to get that out to more people, just in case they don't know. But also, we are trying to build this YouTube channel, Jeff, coming into today. Look, what's the number I have today? So yesterday, we are closing in, Jeff, on 400 subs here. Every single day it goes higher. Thank you, people. Like, subscribe, comment, come in here to have some fun, because days like this, it's not like, we got to rely on the chat box and lean on it. You want to be here because these topics are absolutely fire, Jeff. So why don't we start right away? Sham Sharani, a tweet hit like a banger last night. The Milwaukee Bucks trading franchise icon Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparius Jacosionis, 3 first-round picks, a pick swap, and a second-rounder. Massive deal, Jeff. Look at the 2 new Twin Towers down there in Miami. Goodness.
All of a sudden, you look at that team and you say, okay, guards, they're going to have to improve. That said, defensively, I think they're going to be very difficult to beat. You put Giannis, you put, obviously Bam up front. That's a really good front court.
Yeah.
But to me, again, it always comes down to why you choose. Because, look, there was talk that it was Boston. They were in the lead. Look, at the end of the day, Donnie, are you aware that living in Florida is just significantly better from an economy standpoint? Giannis Antetokounmpo, the cost of living is probably going to be between 15 and 20% lower living in Florida. You look at some of the tax implications, huge windfall here, right? There's no state income tax. Okay. So over the course of 4 to 5 years, he's going to save $20-ish million, right? So you look at 5 years, that's $4 or $5 million a year. Might sound like not that much, but again, throw in, and this is the important part. We see Giannis, he does a lot of endorsements, off the court stuff. Remember, that cannot be taxed by the state as well, right? So there's just a lot of implications. Throw in, it's just cheaper to
Yep.
live there, and it's better to live there. Who wouldn't want to live in Florida over Massachusetts? Giannis has, a family. Obviously just a great place to be, and I think it's a great situation for him. A better weather, that sort of thing. I'm sure at some point, a guy that grew up living in Greece, some of the best weather in the world, you kind of want to get back to that point a little bit. So, yeah, I think it's a home run for him, for them. And all of a sudden, you look at the East now. Look, we know the Knicks have obviously been very good. Celtics will continue to be good. Heat with that culture, that coaching staff, Pat Riley, you're right back into the swing of things. And, you get one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, we're going to get back to a lot of those topics, but let's keep it here with Giannis. And Jeff is right on one thing. Like, you watch the screen. Like, you guys know out there, Jeff and I live in the Northeast. So some people might be thinking we're taking shots at, like, Milwaukee. Like, who would want to be in Milwaukee? Now, I will say that. But I say the same thing here. If you gave me a choice right now, look, financially, everything stays the same, which we know it doesn't. I'm just talking about where you want to live. I would move my ass out of South Jersey, Jeff, before you could blink to move to Florida. And a matter of fact, this is no conversation that we haven't had in my household, Jeff. My daughter starts high school. The day she graduates, we will be in Florida. That is a given. That is a guarantee at this point. That's where I want to be. Why would you want to be in the Northeast? And we say it every year, Jeff. It's freezing cold. Why do we do this to ourselves when you could wake up in the heat and relax and enjoy your life? Hey, barbecue in late November in the Northeast. No, it's freezing. Barbecue in late November down in Dade County. Fantastic, Jeff. It's a no-brainer. It's why everybody pushes to go to these climates. Hey, LA, maybe you say forget about even the political climate of Florida, which is completely different than California and LA. LA is beautiful every single day with the weather. Every day.
Yeah. I know you didn't want to say it. I have no problem saying it. Who wants to live in Milwaukee? Yeah, I'm good.
Nobody.
That would probably be the last place on earth if you had 32 NBA teams.
Yeah.
I'd put Milwaukee at the lowest level. I mean, what do you put under Milwaukee?
Nothing. Exactly. What is in Milwaukee? Exactly. Hey, Green. You know what they used to say, Jeff? And again, Green Bay is in Wisconsin, so is Milwaukee. You know what they used to say in like the 70s and 80s? If you don't start playing well, we're shipping your ass to Milwaukee. That's what they used to say.
I would say from a living standpoint, maybe the only other lower one might be like Oklahoma City or something. But like at the end of the day, I mean, at least they have a good team there. Not saying Milwaukee doesn't, but yeah, Milwaukee would be low. Me personally, though, I've always said,
yeah,
I really enjoy fall.
Me too.
Look,
I do.
I'm not saying
I as well.
I'm not saying I like cold weather because I don't. I hate snow. I've always said as long as it doesn't snow, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I do. There's something about Donnie. The first couple of weeks of, like I go out and run every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to run when it's cold. You feel great. But I will say, when I went to LA last year, I went outside the one night. I said, wow. This is great, man. It's not humid here. If I were to go somewhere, it'd be LA. It's just more my vibe, I feel like. But yeah, Florida is great. And especially as you get older, it's the place you want to be. There's a reason, essentially the whole Northeast goes to Florida, right? I mean.
Yes. Like it's Florida's, and again, mystical stuff, right, Jeff? Where you say to yourself, when you are a kid, and I don't know if you were the same way as I do, Florida seemed like the coolest destination you could possibly go to. I don't care if it was Disney World or just when you got there. Like the first time I went to visit my grandfather, lived in Key Biscayne, had to be like 83 or 84, Jeff. We flew to, I thought it was the coolest place in the world. I said, there's like palm trees and it feels tropical. Who wouldn't want to live in Florida? And as Jeff points out also, Giannis saying, hey, I'm going to sign a big time extension. We're better to sign it than Florida here. Keep more of your money and live in a wonderland. Give it to me. All me, Jeff. All me.
Yeah, I remember, when I was at Barstow, I remember one of the big talking points when Portnoy bought his house in Florida was, and he was in New York living at the time.
Yep.
He essentially had to live there a certain amount of days per year. And again, for someone at a high net worth like him or Greek Freak, it's the best place to live from a tax standpoint. Any money person will tell you that. And long term, over the next 4 or 5 years, you're going to see incremental changes. Throw in again, the cost of living is cheaper in Florida. It just is. Yeah. Now, again, some of the smaller things. Look, if you're a normal person that makes a normal salary, some of the little things, like a lot of people don't know this, Florida has the highest car insurance rates in America. You got to
homeowners
play
insurance as well with the hurricanes and stuff as well.
Hurricane insurance, right? Sure. Yep. So it's a little for normal people, it's probably a little bit more. But yeah, long term, it makes sense from a basketball standpoint, off the court standpoint. That is the real reason.
The real reason right there. Absolutely. Not just, hey, there's a lot of ladies down there, a lot of fun, but there's a lot of real reasons that make even more sense than, hey, it's just a nice place to live and it's warm at this point, Jeff. Starting lineup here anticipated for the Heat, Jeff. Norm Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bobby Portis, Giannis, and Bam. How's it look as a starting five for you?
Ain't bad. I think you got to do better at the guard position. I'll say Milwaukee got a nice haul back. You got a bunch of kids back. I mean, Hero comes home to that area. That's where he's from. You get a bunch of first-round picks. I got to ask. I didn't look specifically at the picks. They're not for tonight, right? None for tonight, or?
No, I think there is, Jeff. Let me see. A pick swap first rounder. There's a. I had the write up here. I think one of them does include. Including, it says 3 first-round picks, including number 13. So obviously that's a pick that's going to be included in tonight in that one pick swap in the second round or later. Yeah, that's what we talked about, Jeff, where they wanted to get this done absolutely before the draft tonight because they wanted some capital right away.
Right, and you look at that, that's a lottery pick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have some really good players in that realm, a lot of wings, a lot of guys that can, look, are they going to be Giannis? Probably not, but you can get a Merez Johnson. You can get a Steinbeck. You can get a Cameron Carr. You can get a Christian Anderson. There's Kareem Lopez. There's all sorts of players. And look, it's a deep draft this year. A lot of really good talent. So that's good that you get that. You get a couple of other first-round picks as well and some role players. Look, you need role players. That's one thing this stupid team in Philadelphia has never understood.
They give them away.
Yes. Role players are how you win, right? You obviously can have a star or two. You need that, but you got to have the role players that can hit shots. You got to have the role player that can come off and give you. That's why, like, one of the dumbest moves of all time this team ever made here was they had a guy, Lou Williams. They drafted him. One of the best six-man scorers of all time. And they never understood it. They let him walk. Turned into a great pro. Was at Atlanta, Clippers, all sorts of places. You need bench players. You have to have those role players.
The scorers that come off the bench. It's why, hey, Joel Embiid leaves the game and, oh, no, we're up 10. Now we're down 5 here because you need people to come in, fill it up. Who cares they don't play the defense? Their job is to say the score was 80-70 here. Now it's 90-80 when Joel Embiid gets back. We didn't lose any ground at this point. That always happens. But by the way,
you get energy, too. You get energy.
Exactly. They fill it up off the bench here. Boston Celtics, they were hot to trot here on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, listen to this tweet from Kevin O'Connor. Sources say the Bucks owner Jimmy Haslam was a driving force in taking the Heat deal for Giannis over Boston's offer. Haslam didn't want to risk Jaylen Brown wanting out of Milwaukee in a year after dealing with Giannis and Myles Garrett. So what's Myles Garrett? Haslam also owns the Cleveland Browns. Now, hear me out on this. Jaylen Brown, I don't want anything to do with the guy. Great basketball player, complete clown. And the reason I say this, Jeff, when you are out here saying on a team that won a championship that your favorite year was this past year because Tatum didn't play and you were allowed to do whatever you want. Then Tatum came back and it wasn't so fun anymore. I never agree with Jimmy Haslam. He's right here. I wouldn't want that bum Brown on my team. Just a complete me guy. Yeah, I'm out on that, Jeff. I'm out.
And this goes back to, like, Boston's done a lot of winning over the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel bad. Good. Jaylen Brown gone, see ya. You don't get Giannis, good, see ya. Wallow a while. You've won enough. Who cares? But I agree. Jaylen Brown is very, look, a lot of these, athletes, at the highest level, divas. He comes across very, like, podcasty to me. He likes doing podcasts more than he likes to play. Look, he likes his stats. He needs ship his ass off to, like,
he would love it.
Sacramento.
Like to talk about the Bucks too. And by the way, Jeff, do you know he's in line for to sell? Like, he already has that massive contract. Another 2 years, Jeff, 140 million, not 5 years, 2 years, 140 plus, which means Brown's going to be a $70 million a year player for even longer than he already was on this monster contract here. Like, who actually would want that? Who would want that?
Well, Jaylen Brown always came across to me as I don't know if you've ever seen this film. It's one of my favorite basketball movies of all time. It's a great movie, but I love it. What is it? You ever see Eddie, Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was the coach, the Knicks.
Yeah, so Malik Sealy, God rest
Yeah.
his soul, great NBA player, great New
St.
York
John's.
basketball player. Yeah,
Yeah.
he played a character, Stacey Patton, in the film, and Stacey Patton is this like ball hog, and he doesn't want to play. Stacey Patton don't sign autographs, and Whoopi basically kind of gets him to kind of respond. She brings him off the bench. It works out better, and he becomes kind of a part of the team again. And early in the film, Jaylen Brown reminds me like Stacey Patton, right? He takes a bunch of shots. It's all about me. It's all about what I'm doing. He looks in the end, he's going to get what he wants. They're going to ship him off somewhere where he could be that guy, and they won't win many games, but it won't matter to him. He can have his podcast and make a bunch of money and have a bunch of stats. It
almost flows right into A.J. Brown, right? Like, what don't you like about being in Philadelphia, getting the football, winning football games, winning Super Bowls? Well, now he's like, well, I have my Super Bowl. It's time to try to make it into the actual Hall of Fame where I don't care about winning. Just give me the ball. Like, again, Jaylen Brown's comment this year, no better season than this season. Like, you just got knocked out by the Philadelphia 76ers the minute you got into the playoffs. And this was your favorite year when you actually won a championship. Says everything that you need to know here, Jeff, which then includes, what do you do, Jeff, as you take a look at the odds shifting in the Eastern Conference? The Celtics still the favorite because if they're healthy, they might have the best overall team at plus 220. The Knicks, Jeff, plus 270 right behind them. But now the Heat, here they come, Jeff, plus 650 here, third in line in the East.
And it's so hard to repeat, but you look at what the Knicks will likely be able to retain. Again, you could still kind of keep most of these people. That's kind of the good thing about the NBA. And look, Boston, I think you just kind of addressed what I had concerns with. You have to eradicate the bad part of the team. Once you get him out, then it's kind of, you still have Tatum, you still have a really good core there, and you get and exit out the cancer, if you will. When you remove that, everything can kind of flow. But I still think the Knicks are on paper the best. I mean, I
love that Knicks team.
Yeah,
and you're the same as me, Jeff. Built the right way, man. Just built the right way all the way through.
They're very likable. And I hate to keep saying it, but I go back to this draft. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this draft. You can go out and grab a Terrace Reed, right? This is a team who I think they'll lose Mitchell Robinson, right? You go out and get like a Terrace Reed who can come right in and be a big for you, someone like that. So, I still think the Knicks are kind of the class. But Miami will be back, man. They're slowly, again, the culture there, Spoelstra's great. I like the top three in the East a lot.
They swing big in Miami, man. Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James. I mean, this is what they do, and they're swinging big again at this point. A couple other NBA, Jeff, news and notes before we get to some other hot topics. Julius Randle traded from the Timberwolves here. Now, if you guys remember, obviously, Julius Randle was on the Knicks, got traded at a big deal for Cat. Cat goes to New York. They win a championship, and Randle's like persona non grata at this point. Take a look at that, man. Unbelievable. Put that graphic back up. I want to see exactly what it was. Randle, the 28th pick. Minnesota gets a 33rd pick. Chicago receives Nick Claxton, a little shake up there. But Julius Randle, man, dude was in New York. They got rid of him and got better immediately.
Yeah, you look at some of these deals. I mean, that deal seemed a little crazy to me. But
it did.
Yeah, you're going to see
Leon Rose,
this is the insane part about the NBA, right? You just see some of these. There was another Ayu Dosunmu went to the where'd he go?
T-Wolves.
Yeah, he got a lot of money, right?
He got a bag, $112 million there. Yep.
Yeah, I see Trae Young got $230 million or whatever. Yeah.
Remember Jeff opting out of $50 million to get $212? You know what I mean? It's what they do in the NBA, man. Crazy.
Eat your kid. Yeah. Put everything you can into your kid. Get him to play basketball, man. You have the right kid.
Hey, he's not tall enough to play. Trae Young ain't tall enough to play in the NBA, and this dude is banking hundreds of millions of dollars.
They used to say Allen Iverson wasn't tall enough.
Yeah. How about this?
Allen Iverson will play against 7-footers and dominate.
Just amazing stuff, man. Anybody that grew up in the time when Allen Iverson was absolutely the king of Philadelphia, it defeats what your mind is supposed to watch when you play basketball. How that guy, nobody could stop him for a good decade until and realize that he probably should have worked out during your career and took better care of your body. But for that lightning rod he was for a time in Philadelphia, man, he was a lot of fun. But, Jeff, still doing it here and played against Allen Iverson? It's LeBron James. An NBA Central tweet, Jeff, that says, LeBron James returning to Miami cannot be ruled out. He could try to lure impending free agent LeBron James with its full mid-level exception. But James has told us, I'm not going for mid-level exceptions, but Jeff, would he return to the Miami Heat with Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam, and the boys where he won multiple championships and get back in the mix? Could it be?
Well, God forbid we talk about anybody else other than LeBron James. I mean, it's God forbid the news cycle doesn't include him. He has to find his way into it. Enough, LeBron. No, that ain't going to happen.
You don't want him in Miami, Jeff?
No.
Come on, man, would hype the things up tonight. But by the way,
let Giannis do his thing. Giannis is that guy. Let him do his thing. We don't need LeBron. Stay in LA, LeBron. Retire, LeBron.
Took a while though for that thing to happen with Giannis. We've been hearing about it for months and months and months and months and months, and they were just going to wait out and get that bidding war together, which did include the Boston Celtics. You know, in some later shows, Jeff, we'll see where the Boston Celtics do go, because there's a lot of chatter tonight that Jaylen Brown could be on the move before the night is even over, which means, Jeff, hey, why is everybody moving and why are these trades going down? Jeff, you know what time it is. It's NBA draft time tonight. Yeah. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Really good college basketball players are going to go. But once again, Jeff, I will ask you today, who is that number 1 pick going to be tonight, and do we get any surprises?
Well, Adrian Dabonsa in the odds market is a big favorite. Minus 1,000 to go number 1. I think that's too high.
He's actually higher today than he was yesterday, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's too high. Look, is he likely going to be the number 1 pick? Probably. However, I still think Darren Peterson makes more sense. I grabbed a little plus 600 for him to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I just, again, look at Dabonsa, and I'm not doubting him. I loved his tape coming to college was insane. He was one of the most transcendent players I'd ever seen. I loved him at BYU. He did nothing wrong there. They had a bunch of injuries. He put them on his back. He was fantastic against quality competition, i.e. Arizona, Houston, Texas. Yeah. Did everything he had to do. The only thing, and this goes back to like NBA and their scouting and development and their security and all sorts of stuff. Do you believe that Dabonsa can become a true Hall of Fame type player, improve his jump shot, get a better 3-point shot, be a better foul shooter? We know he can get to the rim. We know from 15 feet in, he's terrific and create his own stuff. I again liken it yesterday to Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Kawhi was coming out of college. The big knock on him was great player, great defender. Can he develop a free throw shot? Can he develop a jump shot? Case in point, look at a guy like in this draft, Koa Pete out of Arizona. Koa Pete is a person that should be going back to college. Koa Pete is what I look at as like a Ben Simmons. Because he completely has changed his mechanics. His jump shot's completely off. Mr. Dabonsa is not that. But he has to get himself into the gym and get that shot like Kawhi did. He could do that. Like Kawhi, he'll be a Hall of Famer someday. Now, that's my only thing there.
Yeah, let me ask you a question on this, Jeff, because the one thing, and I think you're right about this, A.J. Dabonsa coming out, high school, high prize recruit, goes to BYU, NBA-type program there, but they're going to pay him a lot of money. But understand this, too. It seemed to me, Jeff, every time I watched him, I got 100% effort, man. And I love that. And then you take a look at Darren Peterson. Everybody says now, Jeff, because we look at the NBA, and you're right to call this out. The NBA scouting says, you know what? What's that top end of the market? Boy, Peterson can fill it up. And if he buys in and he goes right in the NBA, he can really do some things. But, Jeff, is there a part of you that watched that season at Kansas and goes, if I have the choice between these two and I'm number 1, even if I think Peterson might be a little bit better, is it maybe a character issue that you get?
No. Nothing he did in college worries me at all. And here's why. And this is why, if there was an argument to this one and done thing, this is why this is a stupid thing we have. Because what it does is it takes away from the college experience. Darren Peterson did not want to go to college. Darren Peterson would have totally right away went to the NBA. And he'd have been successful.
Why didn't he go G League then?
That's a good question. Maybe because money-wise, he could probably make more at Kansas. But no, it was abundantly clear. In just 80% effort, he was one of the best players in America.
Yeah.
No, I don't worry at all about that. I think he would have thrived if he went right to the NBA. Like if there was no rule where he had to go to college, I think he would have been a great player, and he will be a great player. Throw in, I think he's the most NBA ready as far as you're going to throw him right on a team. He's going to become a 20-point a game guy right away. Not saying Dabonsa won't. Throw in, I just look at the situations. He spurned Utah and did not go to a workout there. You look at Dabonsa, went to college in Utah, was very connected to that community. I just think it would kind of hit a home run. Do I think it'll ultimately happen? Probably not. But plus 600 is too high. I grab Peterson, a little of it.
I love it. This is why I love talking to the big man over here. He knows exactly what the drill is going to be. Now, we're not going to go over every single player, Jeff, but I know you've watched every single one of these players. Dibansta, Peterson, Boozer. Like, we know the top shelf guys. You talked about little Koa Pete, like maybe you should go back. Jeff, give me a player or two in this draft that people should know about, and you might be getting the steal here.
Well, I'll talk about one kind of in the lottery or like late lottery.
Yeah, give me late lottery stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I'll talk about maybe a guy in the 20s.
I love berries.
Yeah. No, I love Burries as well. And I think if you look at a team like the Dallas Mavericks, they do as well. They want to kind of pair him next to Kyrie Irving, be that two guard, good defender. I look at a guy, and I talked about him yesterday. I think he's going to actually probably fly into the top 10 here. Adai Mara out of Michigan. 7'3", just a gigantic individual. Great on the block. Obviously, he's huge. But I talked about it yesterday, and I'm going to keep talking about it. If he can develop a jump shot, which I think he can because the ball seems pretty comfortable in his hands, put the ball on the floor, get to the rim. If he could develop a jump shot, kind of become that better version of like a Kristaps Porzingis, he could be a tantalizingly good player in the NBA. Just gigantic. I think the Hawks make a lot of sense at 8. I don't think he gets past 9, though. It's going to be either the Hawks or the Dallas Mavericks. We obviously know, look, if they don't take Burries, Dallas, I think if Mara is there, they're going to take him, throwing the fact that they just grabbed his coach, Dusty May. A guy deeper, and we mentioned the LA Lakers a little bit earlier. The best defensive player in this draft is Jaden Quintians out of Kentucky. Just a massive individual, a lot of wingspan, only 6'10", but plays a lot bigger than that. Elite shot blocker, elite defender. You throw him on a team like the LA Lakers, that could make a lot of sense there. And that's the thing about this draft. I mean, there's just so much variety. You look at late in the first round, you could still get a Terrace Reed, a guy who's one of the best players in the NCAA tournament. A Dylan Swain, a Josh Jefferson, a Chris Sinak out of Houston, another really good defender. There's so many good freshmen here. I'm all over it. Love it. Very high on a lot of these players. Towards the deeper into the show, I'll throw a couple of other props that I have that I played.
Yeah, good stuff here overall. But again, NBA draft is tonight. Factors right into that Giannis trade. Right off the bat, one to spend, Jeff. A good 20 minutes with you talking about that. Great topics in the NBA, great topics in the draft. And chat box, quick question on this, Jeff, which I know we disagree with at times, which is not me and you, but I think the chat box is going to disagree. Betting on the draft, they say, is all-time degenerate gambler play. I disagree with that because it's one of the few times in sports, Jeff, you can get inside information and use it to your advantage. It's almost like we talk about late season in the NFL, where it's like, I know they're not playing their starters. The line is +7. Oh, no, they sat their starters. Now it's +14 because the other team needs it when you already got the -7 here. I disagree. I don't bet the drafts, Jeff, because I don't follow it enough, but I think you can get some good tea leaves on the draft. I do.
No, you can. And I've always said sports betting is very much about foreshadowing.
Yeah.
What do you believe and what do you know can happen? You have to put your own spin on things. And I don't agree. I hate that comment when people make it, oh, this is degenerate. What does it even mean? Like it's betting on Little League is degenerate.
That's true.
That's degenerate. But what does it even mean though? Like if you have action and value on something, you should play it, right? Yes. So if I know that a badminton match down the road, I have an edge on it and there's odds for it.
Yeah.
Like the goal is to make money. The goal is to find value. Yeah. I think saying stuff is degenerate is stupid and idiotic, or moronic, if anything.
There you go. Fantastic. And we'll get back to some of those bets here that Jeff has tonight in the NBA draft. And again, it's exciting. Sometimes the NBA is hotter off the court than it is on the court. We'll get back to that. But there is something going on now, Jeff, that needs our attention. And yesterday, it was rain-soaked, but the superstars continue to provide. Let's bring on our guest today, Flash Watson, talking some World Cup action as only Flash can do. Because the one thing I love to talk to Flash about is here. Not gonna, hey, why was it 0-0 across the board and the superstars aren't playing? Flash, the superstars said, this World Cup, we're here, and it's time to dominate.
Yeah, and they're still dossing as well. And by the way, morning, boys. They're in first and second gear. That's the other thing you've got to understand. When you're watching them games, it was only the desire of Messi that actually made it 2-0 and a comfortable -1. And obviously he misses the penalty. France They didn't even get out of first gear and won 3-0. They weren't bothered whether they won 1, 2 or 3. And you're not going to see the best of these teams until they're matched up against teams and know that after 90 minutes, shut up or put up. They go home. If they don't, and that's it. And you might see a lot of games with deadwood, and they'll blow them away and still not get out of second gear. This doesn't actually get going until we see maybe round of 16. There's a couple of moody little round of 32s, maybe a little bit of Germany and the Netherlands and teams like that. But the majority, they're actually going to just smooth into this tournament and get it done. And then we'll see who's got the kahunas to put it down on the day that it matters.
Yeah, Flesh, that was one thing I said yesterday in the show. I mentioned the concern I had with France was, they'd go up 2 or 3 and then just kind of coast. And we saw that, after the rain delay, which, severe weather was bad around this area yesterday. That kind of seemed like where they were. I thought they could have put 4 or 5 on a board. They missed a few. Mbappe had some opportunities, kind of missed wide. He was going for the hat trick, but that was the concern. If he played the over 3.5 there, would France just go up a few and just say, you know what, job done, we're good to go here? But Donnie, this continued. Did you see that parlay yesterday?
Yeah, we have all the visuals a little bit later, Jeff. But touch on it in case anybody hasn't watched it. It's amazing.
That was something. Haaland to score twice, Mbappe to score twice, Messi to score twice. And look, Donnie, I have not been real good in this tournament. I've it's been tough because again, like it seems like every square side has come in. But Flash, my cap on Senegal has been perfect. This team can't defend. I mean, they can't. And I'm going to say another thing. I'm going to talk about another African team. I can't trust your qualifying against Mali, Chad, the Comoros, Central African Republic. Like, I can't trust that sort of qualifying standard.
Well, there's too many. There's too many groups now.
Right.
What you can trust is Morocco, who did actually go to the semi-final last time and opened up with a draw against Brazil. But then their DNA is against everything all the other African sides are. Because last night, when we watched Senegal, I thought Senegal would get something out of the game last night. And 2 mistakes by Koulibaly, the centre-back, gifted Norway 2 goals. Then they score 2 goals as well. The only way you play Senegal now is basically on the overs. Because for all intents and purposes, they should have beat Norway last night. Norway did not hardly create anything, and yet all the headlines are going to be Norway scored 3, Norway won the game, and Haaland scored 2. Koulibaly was absolute joker. 4 of the 5 goals were down to Senegal, basically. And this is what you get with a lot of the African sides. They're so naturally athletic, but their footballing brains are shot to pieces. You can't trust them. I did trust them and shot myself in the foot. It was a disgrace that I had to sit and go through that because
Flash. There was a guy. It's funny you brought Koulibaly up. Do you remember Croatia? I want to say it was the last World Cup. They had a guy, Dejan Lovren. He played at Liverpool for years.
Well, he played at Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah, he was
at Southampton
shockingly bad towards the end of his career. He just couldn't defend. That's a great point you make. But I think it also lends, though, Flash, as you know, too, like when you watch these superstars, they're just on another level. Like you can't defend them. You can't really do anything. You just kind of
the defending in this tournament's been shot, though. The defending has been look at the Ivory Coast versus Germany. It's 1-1 in the 96th minute, and I'm a striker in my opponent's box, and my marker is in front of me by 2 yards. I turn and get my shot away and win the game because the brain didn't switch on for my marker. How does that happen? If I was the manager, he wouldn't play again. He'd go home. See you later. You cannot have 100 minutes of effort, concentration, and switch off because these boys will make you pay. And when you make you pay later on in the tournament, you're going home. It's so frustrating to watch. I think the defending, I've never seen so many goals. Now, we can put that down to so many teams being nowhere near average. Never mind above average. They have been Billy average.
It's all about the energy. It's all about the money. Flash, let me ask you this question, too, because and again, I always tell you, I love having you on the show because the knowledge is there, the fun is there, but more importantly, you've been there before. Like, I haven't been on a soccer pitch and played at a high level. Your body tells you eventually when it's like, you know what, it's time to go, or more importantly, your club team tells you when it's time to go. Messi, another 2 goals yesterday, just looks like he's still on top of his game. How is this possible, and how is he able to fight off Father Time still on the biggest stages?
Brain. If you actually watch him, he's not interested in 80% of the game. He walks around and finds pockets, gets the ball, keeps the ball, and his teammates have bought into it. His teammates are like, don't you worry, we'll get you the ball in the areas that we know you will find. And then his feet, by the way, yesterday, a few of them turns he did, it put my back out. He actually turned away from 2 or 3 players because his feet are so sharp and his brain is ahead of the game. And listen, brain and feet, they need to be entwined. But he might even play in the 3rd game because he has dossed through 2 games and scored 5 goals. But it's because the 8 players all around him are all piano carriers, and they have one piano player, and it's him.
Amazing.
Let me ask you something, Flash, in terms of bigger players, bigger teams. We've seen a lot of these teams after a bad first matchup, they kind of bounce back, right? Spain, Brazil. You got another one here in about 20 minutes, right? Portugal. Bouncing back. I've heard some people say that they think Portugal's better without Ronaldo at this point. Yeah. We're kind of putting too much emphasis on him up front. We saw them draw the other night. I will say, and I hate to pick on them because I thought they were pretty solid at times. I thought it for a 20-minute spell, Uzbekistan did okay against Colombia.
They're dangerous.
Right, but at the end of the day, you look at the goal, it was kind of like a wonder goal. It's kind of a random goal. You ultimately look at Uzbekistan's side, they have 1 or 2 players in the top flight. I mean, they're mostly Uzbeki and Iraq and Iran league. I mean, Portugal should win clinically. Portugal in under 3.5 makes sense, but do they bounce back here? Because they look pretty bad at times against the Congo.
Yeah, because they were playing basically with 10 men, whether you like it or not. I believe that when you have a 41-year-old in your side, he should be the goalkeeper. No one else. No one else. Only the goalkeeper can get away with being a 41-year-old. I'll tell you what, let's go with NFL. Only a quarterback can be 41-year-old. Nobody else. And yet you don't see a wide receiver being, and that's effectively what a striker is, to finish off the play of others. And it's not happening. But Portugal's not the only one. Portugal's probably the top 3 sides. I'd have Portugal on paper level with like an England, if not a little bit better on paper. We don't play on paper. They're not producing. And I said to you about Turkey. I say Portugal above Turkey, weak. They will get rolled over if they don't get themselves in front. Tricky game against Uzbekistan, but come on, they've got to be winning the game.
Heavy favorites here, 1 o'clock here, Jeff. I'll let you get a shot in a second, but I just wanted to bring this up because we're talking about some of the best players in the World Cup right now, Flash, which again, we're handicappers, we watch what's going on, and these guys seem like they are in line fighting for that, hey, I'm going to top you in my next game. Now, you got Portugal today playing. We'll see what Ronaldo has. You got Harry Kane. We'll get to that game in just a few moments. But the Golden Boot winner, Flash, favorite right now, slightly Mbappe, followed by Messi, followed by Haaland. If I said right now, Flash, as it sits, who is your guy that you feel can win that, even though they're all lumped up together?
Mbappe all day. He shocked me yesterday by that left foot strike. I didn't know he had a left foot like that. He normally always opens everything up to his right. And the gears, and obviously you've got to think of the longevity over the course of the tournament. Haaland, no, I don't even see Haaland scoring in the next game. They play France. So then we're going to see. Messi, yeah, does he play in the next game? Argentina, for me, I'm wondering whether they've played no one. The same as France, the same as England. England, Kane, they're all reliant on these individuals. If you gun to head, it's Mbappe all day because he got a hat-trick in the final last time. And this is another thing people don't realise about France. I can't remember the last time they got beat in a World Cup match. They drew 3-3 in the last World Cup. They won the one before it. So it's like 3 World Cups before they got beat. They win it for me. For me, the French, because they've got players off the bench, come on, and they don't weaken the side. So Mbappe's going to maybe get to 9. 9 wins it.
Flash.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, he would be mine as well. gotta say, before we get to England, Flash, I got to comment on one of these comments in the chat. Greece and Italy would absolutely crush half these teams that are garbage in the World Cup. They're not in for a reason. They weren't good enough.
You know what we say, and you're a card man, poker man. We used to play poker all the time, and people that weren't actually playing would be on your shoulder trying to talk and give you advice. And you know what we said? Non-players piss stones, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're not in it, so listen, it's just noise.
Also, for all you, for this guy that says that, you do know that all they had to do was beat Bosnia.
Exactly.
To get into the World Cup, and they couldn't do that.
They got beat 4-1 by Norway, and Norway are below average.
Right. Not for nothing, like Greece. When has Greece been good?
Well, listen,
you ever give it a rest?
Exactly. It's a shame though, because a little bit like the World Cup always needs Scotland there. The World Cup is always special when the Italians are there. Can you imagine the Italians being based in New York? Oh, my word.
Oh, yeah, no. It'd be a perfect situation. Flash, England was so good in their first round. I was a little concerned, though, defensively. Some of those goals. Croatia's solid. Right. But again, we go back to this African side, right? Ghana, who, got a nice goal late against like a decent Panama side. But we go back to qualifying. You look at these African sides to qualify. Mali, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros. Anytime you play a decent side, they gave goals up. I think England puts up another crooked number here. Over 2.5 goals for England. Team total, minus 115 looks pretty strong here. I think they get 3 or 4 here, don't they?
If they want. There's the problem you've got, is if they want. Yeah, listen, Ghana are a bit like Portugal. Ghana have got Jordan Ayew. This is Jordan Ayew's 75th World Cup. He's another one that keeps playing, and I know loads of people who are Ghanaians, and they're like, why? He shouldn't be there. So they've still got this sort of affection or affiliation, and they're playing players that are not good enough. And playing Panama the other night, I thought, yes, go and win the game. They won the game, and I didn't actually give myself a pat on the back because they were dog awful. Now, I believe that England's biggest weakness is their defence. I go on record saying they don't even get tested today. I've got this 2-0, 3-0, 4, whatever England want, they will get out of this game today.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, I agree completely.
I was just saying a quick thing on England here, because, sometimes we always like to bring the fandom into it. Jeff and I, big-time Philadelphia Eagles fans playing in championships here, like growing up in Sid Cup here. Is it coming home, Flash? And do you cheer and hope that it comes home to England as the World Cup champions? Like, how does it feel? Are you a fan of the England squad just from growing up there?
No, because because listen, last time we won it was 1966.
Yeah.
The only times we've been close is like when we've had Golden Highway all the way through. And the biggest weakness in this side is the defence. And when you come up against Argentina, Portugal, if they get there, Germany, Netherlands, France, Spain, they're not even anywhere close to any of them. They will not win the World Cup, okay? So, no, it's not coming home. And also, it's ingrained in you because you're always disappointed. So when you're disappointed that much, you don't get your hopes up. There's not one part of me that thinks they're going to win the World Cup.
This is why I like Flash.
Are you crazy?
Are
you crazy?
Yeah, this is why I like Flash.
Don't play that back in Sid Cup. You can't get away with that.
He's right. I mean, this is what I try to say to these idiot American fans that talk about how because they beat Paraguay and I don't know, whoever else they played. Who was the other team? Australia. Yeah, when we think of soccer, we think of Australia. Give it a rest. He's 100% right. At least England has, the Premier League and Harry Kane, and they have won. The United States is a disaster and a joke. No one cares about when we talk about soccer. They're also not winning the World Cup.
No, but Golden Highway for them, isn't it? Because they'll get to the quarterfinals. It looks like they'll play Spain.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, look, no offense, but yeah, you're right. That's the only reason they're going to advance is because they don't have to play anybody.
Exactly.
And all these stupid people who 2 weeks ago didn't know the difference between a midfielder, a striker, and the goalie. Yeah. They're going to try to tell you everything. That's why I like Flash. He's always up front. He's always honest, and he's right. I don't think England's going to win it either because they're not France. They're not Argentina. You would agree, Flash? Outside of those teams, like Germany, I think.
Well, of course, because they're German. They turn up. They're efficient.
Right.
The Dutch The Dutch, it's amazing. Wow, no, they're no good this year. No golden generation. We get to the semi-final and there's a German or a Dutch side there. They know how to get it done. There's a golf. The only team I see, and this is strange, and we did mention it when we came on prior to the tournament starting, that may gatecrash the final 8 might be a Japan, because they play with intensity and they might get the job done in 90 minutes. Outside of that, we will see these just tick off, and I tell you what, you're left with Spain and France and Holland, Netherlands, and your Argentina, your England, your USA, because they've been given dog and duck, red lion, like pub sides. But I think going out in the quarterfinal, that was plus 375 prior, it's been a good World Cup. It's been a great World Cup. Now move aside and let's have the main course.
We're going to talk the 7 o'clock game and the 10 o'clock game. We'll get to in just a few moments, Jeff. But I got a question for Flash. I got a conundrum right now, and I need answers because these are two similar line points here, Jeff. Or excuse me, Jeff and Flash. I'll ask you both this. Ronaldo, minus 195, anytime goal scorer. Harry Kane, minus 185. Similar. I'll start with you, Flash. You had one choice today to get the job done. Kane or Ronaldo. Come on, Flash.
You go with Kane all day. I'd go with Kane. I would go with Kane if he was minus 230 over Ronaldo at minus 190.
He's got to do it for Georgina, Flash. Come on.
He's done enough.
He's done enough.
Pressure. The only way listen, he needs to have the gloves on. Only a goalkeeper at 41. That's it. Can't
Jeff,
do it.
What do you got?
Yeah, we're getting to the point where it's like there's just too much emphasis. It's almost like we're at the point with Ronaldo. It's like that, there's like, those like spring games, Donnie, in like Nebraska where they'll bring some like old guy on the field and let him run a touchdown with anyone touching him. They do it with like the Make-A-Wish kids. Yeah, they do it with like the Make-A-Wish kids and stuff. I mean, we're trying too hard. Like at some point, maybe we just need to say, look, let's put him on the bench. It's the 70th minute. It's 1-1. We need a spar. Yeah. I don't know, but it's you can't keep forcing things. Donnie, some nights when I'm out, it's like 1:30. Pickings are slim. I'm not just going to settle for 5. Sometimes you got to just accept. It's not there. You got to go home.
By the way, Jeff, I got a question in the chat box.
Slim
ready for this
pickings.
One?
That's not your bag, is it?
Slim pickings. No. So, Jeff Nadu, you are saying it's hard to qualify for the World Cup in Asia than it is in Europe. You are out to lunch. Real dumb thing to say.
No, it's actually funny.
At you, Jeff.
Well, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. I literally just commented on African qualifying. No one on earth will tell you that it's easier to qualify, in Europe over Africa. What I'm saying is you have to stop putting, and Mina has said it, Flash has said it, we've all said it. The only people that aren't saying it is you, T-Knot. At the end of the day, Italian soccer at this point is at the lowest it's been in a long time. And the reason for that is they're stuck in the 90s, right? This is like watching, these old offenses in the NFL that run the wing T. It's not going to work anymore. They have to start committing to Flash, am I saying anything? You played at the highest levels.
Yeah.
Is saying that Italy is not up to where it should be from a soccer standpoint.
Okay, there's two things here. First of all, they got another option. They got another opportunity to come to the World Cup by going through the playoffs, and they blew that as well. But it is easy. If you are in the top 16 of European sides, there is no excuse for you not to go through. You play against Moldova, Luxembourg, Faroe Islands, Gibraltar. I can still play in them teams. The only federation where you get a medal for qualifying is in that South American, because every one is like a quarterfinal of a World Cup.
Sure. And remember, too, by the way, like T-Knot, I'm not sure if you know this, but the teams Flash just mentioned, he didn't even mention San Marino, who's the worst team in the world by a wide margin, Andorra, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Gibraltar,
Scotland,
Gibraltar. Even some of the Wales,
England.
No offense, I don't know what you're on about. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Dagger. By the way, Flash, we do got 2 action games tonight. Panama, Croatia, Colombia, and the Congo. Any looks tonight from those 2 games here and say, you know what? Maybe it's just not your year, or maybe we get some surprises tonight.
I think they're going to, but the first game's going to be a dullard game. I think Croatia is just going to do enough, and I don't see Panama scoring. I think that the old heads, the footballing brains, the keep ball, waiting, being, it's not going to bring the crowds back, but I'd go Croatia win to 0 or just straight. Panama not to score keeps the 0-0 on my side as well, because Panama were better than Ghana. Ghana, by the way, they were better. They were more like organised, had good energy. They just didn't have the craft in front of goal, and not many teams do. But Croatia, they're better. They'll keep the ball and they will just bide their time. In the other game, Colombia, I like Colombia because they can turn it on. And when you've got a player like Diaz and you've got players in the midfield who pass and move, they'll carve you open sooner or later. So I see Colombia winning. I see not many goals in the Croatia game. England will smoke cigars. They might be the first team to actually play in the World Cup smoking cigars during the game. And the first game, who cares?
Flash, not to keep hampering on here, listen to this quartet of qualifiers for Italy. Estonia, Israel twice, Moldova. They got beat up by Norway.
Though, Jeff, come on.
And Northern Ireland. Throw in Bosnia, too.
Norway beat them 4-1. No, they didn't. I think they only scored one goal against Norway. I think the other game was 0-0. When they needed it. That's the big problem you've got, is that when the chips were down and you needed, don't go back to when you had 10 world-class players in the Italian squad. 10 world-class. I don't think we've got 10 world-class players at this whole tournament now. And yet Italy used to have them in their own squad.
Flash, let me ask you one final thing, and I mean it. This is the last thing. Who had the tougher qualifiers? So I just named Andorra, Moldova, Israel. Now, this is Iraq. Iraq had to play Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Algeria. I mean, those top-level North African teams. That's a tougher road to the World Cup than Andorra and Liechtenstein.
Where is Andorra? Where is
Andorra?
Andorra is this,
it's in between France and Spain.
It's owned by Spain.
Northern Spain.
By the way, Flash, real quick on this one. France plus 400 here leads the way. It's always going to be France for you the rest of the way?
Yeah, I got them at plus 600, plus 650. Right. More than happy. And I did have like $100 on the Netherlands at plus 2,200 because they should have been priced with the plus 1000s of Belgium, who stunk the place out again. And lads, I'll leave you with this one because I know that both of you are Eagles fans. Well, this season, I'll be back being an Eagles fan as well. My early bet was plus 140 for divisional champions.
Boom, there it is, Flash. And by the way, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, we got the Screaming Eagles, we got all these Eagles we can talk about. But Flash, the one thing we love about you, you come on here, you bring the heat, you bring the knowledge, the crowd loves you here. And when I mean crowd, that chat box loves themselves some Flash Watson. Flash, good luck on your wagers. Thanks so much for joining us. Jeff and Donnie, Crossing Lines, we'll be back after this short break.
See you soon, boys.
All right. It's Flash. The way to do it, man. World Cup heat. By the way, we do got a game coming up 5 minutes, Jeff. Portugal. So you're saying to me Ronaldo's not scoring in this game? Is that what I get from you here?
I don't know if you will. I think we have to get to the point and realize he's just, I think you're forcing it too much. I do think Portugal, you have to get a win here. You cannot lose to Uzbekistan. You can't draw to Uzbekistan, especially after drawing to the Congo, a team they should have beat. As I've said, I just don't think Uzbekistan just doesn't have a ton of quality. Could they get some wonder goal like they get against Colombia? Maybe. But I played this game, Donnie, Portugal to win in under 3.5 at plus 105. I think we see a little, like kind of a clinical 2-0 type of game. I think Portugal has a lot of the ball. My big concern here, again, is you don't want to see the 4 or 5-0, 4-1 or something. I think Portugal will be good enough in defense. I just don't see a ton of quality for the Uzbekis. But I will say, I give them a lot of credit. They've been a little bit better than I thought. Great manager as well. Fabio Cannavaro, one of the greatest defenders of all time. Italian great. That's when Italy was great. 2006 made me fall in love with that side. Cannavaro was the king. Now he's the manager of Uzbekistan. So yeah, I like Portugal on under 3.5 plus 105.
Jeff, is it true, by the way, in Italy that the North always puts their thumb at I hate the North. Is it a true story?
Well, yeah, the thought is that the North is more
the money
kind
and
of
the
upper
power.
class.
Yeah. Napoli.
Right.
Get out of here.
They're more elegant, and the southern Italy world, the Calabria, even in the Napoli, Sicily, they're thought of more as like peasant type people. They're mafia like things like that, which isn't not true either.
Where was Tony from, Jeff? Do you know?
Tony was from outside of Naples, Avellino.
There you go. Always, Jeff. By the way, a little Major League Baseball talk here to have some fun. And like we do like the handicap and have fun. Jeff was on an amazing run
real
in
quick,
Major
Donnie.
League Baseball. Yeah, go ahead.
AJ said he would refer to himself as knobbly dobbly. Remember?
Yeah. By the way, who's a hero in their household? Do you know, Jeff? Who's always going to be a hero?
A lot of people.
Who
was it? The guy that Marconi or Meucci, Antonio Meucci invented the telephone, and he got robbed.
He did. He always did here. By the way, Rob last night, Jeff, those New York Yankees. Come on, man. What happened last night? Garrett Cole couldn't hold up for you last night? What happened?
Yeah, I said during my handicap, the concern I had was it was a little square. Why was Cole only like minus 120, 125? But look, they took the lead early, and then Cole just kind of got hit sideways a little bit. Didn't pitch well. Only had 4 1/3, gave up 5 earned, only had 5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the bullpen kind of did their thing, but the Yankees lineup just kind of wasn't good enough. I was rolling. Can't win them all though. I like one tonight though. I think we'll get back on the horse.
Yeah, I got a topic that we're going to hit on in just a few moments with the New York Yankees, which I just unbelievable that Major League Baseball players and professionals act that way. But for the Philadelphia Phillies, who again I'm a fan of, no surprise yesterday, Jeff. Pitcher goes on there who's decent as a lefty, completely shuts down that lineup last night. And it seems like if they don't hit home runs, they don't score. Not many home runs last night. They didn't score. What an interesting ride here. Because also at the same time, Jeff, the Braves really in a funk right now. They get shut out yesterday by the Padres, which the Padres aren't no great shakes at this point right now either. It seems like somebody wants to try to take over. It could be the Phillies in the East, but you're going to get those clunkers in Major League Baseball. It's a long season. They can't hit good lefties, just the way it is. They just can't do it.
I mean, not for nothing, though. They can't really hit righties either. That's kind of an issue. That's actually the game that I'm focused on today.
Righty tonight.
With the Phillies Nationals. I think you have to start with, obviously, the weather. Yeah. It is raining kind of in this area, in this mid-Atlantic area. But I think by game time, this game will be fine weather-wise. Temps in the 70s, pretty nice. Ball should be flying. I like the over in this game, over 8.5. I want to start with the Nationals. This offense is one of the best in baseball, right? 5.3 runs a game. They crush left-handed pitching. There's no better team in the major leagues OPS-wise than the Nationals against left-handed pitching. A 797 OPS. They're almost 12 points higher than anyone else. Tonight they get Luzardo, who I will admit has been a lot better recently. That said, still a guy that allows a lot of base runners. I think recently he's gotten a little lucky. His whip is still high. He still allows a lot of base runners. Throw in, his June has been good, but his May wasn't. So I think that it's just kind of, you don't really know what to expect. I think one of the best offenses in baseball that thrive against lefties should be able to hit him pretty well. You also look at the Phillies. If they can't hit Littell, I don't really know what to think. Yeah. Left-handers crush Littell. They're hitting almost 300 against him this year. We obviously know Harper, Schwarber, Brandon Marsh. There's a couple of really good left-handed hitters in this Phillies lineup. Washington's got one of the worst bullpens in the major leagues. Phillies is hit or miss. Throw in that at home this year, Washington 26-11 to the over. Just a lot of high-scoring games. I think we get a higher-scoring game here. I think both these teams have some pretty decent, favorable matchups against opposing pitchers. I like the over 8.5 here.
Yeah, we'll get into this because I have a couple action shots here with the RBIs, which have been very good to me. Won my 4th straight day yesterday posting, so today we're going for 5 straight winners. Yesterday went 2-1 in RBI props. I lost back-to-back days on team totals, though, which should be coming through. You always love these ones, too, Jeff, right? Had the team total over for the Dodgers game, Ohtani, like first swing of the game home run. Like, okay, that's going to be good. Yeah, they scored 2 runs the entire game. Another one was a solo home run there from Freddie Freeman. But I want to get to this one here. Let's get to this because this is the topic that really inflames me, Jeff. And that topic is the New York Yankees, who do have a lot of superstars here. One of the stupidest players in Major League Baseball is Jazz Chisholm. You watch this video right now, Jeff, on Jazz Chisholm? This isn't before the game. This isn't hanging out with the fans. This is during the game. This idiot has a blow pop in his mouth and could care less. He's one of the dumbest baseball players in the league. Get up to the plate, Jeff. No accountability. Why? I'm just going to try to hit a home run. I don't give a damn what happens around me at this point. The Yankees Jazz Chisholm here. And I saw it yesterday all over social media. Yankees fans are right. Just got the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out.
This is just bad optics,
It's
right?
awful optics. He's a moron. He's a moron.
Yeah, especially in a game where you're losing. It sets a bad precedent. You can't let it happen. It makes it clear that certain people aren't in control. Guys are just doing what they want to do. It's just a goofy, dumb move. Was it kind of funny? Yeah, but it is bad too. And it's, again, bad optics, bad precedent. How did he play last night?
I don't know. I'm well? Not good enough. They're getting blown out. But you're right. It's the optics of it all is like, act like you care. It's all they ask for. Like, Derek Jeter, say what you want. I'm not a Yankees fan. I don't like Derek Jeter. But Derek Jeter put that uniform on every day and gave 100%. He's probably and again, you say rolling over his grave. He's not even dead yet at this point. But Derek Jeter, he's got to watch it and be like, what a disgrace to the uniform.
Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, I remember I used to hear, I go back to Dave Portnoy. He used to mention Manny Ramirez a lot, right? You would forgive Manny Ramirez's behavior because he was unbelievable, right? I would forgive Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson would do some insane shit the night before games or even during the game, right? But he dropped 50 on you, no problem. Donnie, over the last 15 games, Jazz's Chisholm's hitting 176. His on base percentage is .311, right? He has 9 hits and 51 at bats. Look, if he was hitting .310 and he's constantly on base and stealing bases and he's been great in the field with no errors, well, you say, okay, fine. But Jazz Chisholm's this has been one of the worst years of his career, at least so far. So, yeah, bad optics.
Manny being Manny, as he used to say, like, hey, we'll put up with the 330 at the plate and 40 bombs. And also, remember Jeff, Major League Baseball, maybe 20 years ago, made the All-Star game and told Major League Baseball that he actually wanted to go on vacation instead, and they were going to drop the hammer on the guy. Like, he just marched to his own different beat. But if you do perform, Jeff, same way about getting in trouble in like the NFL or the NBA, if you're really good, they look the other way or they give you multiple chances. Jazz Chisholm, they're just horrible optics for the Yankees here with a blow pop in his mouth, which is ridiculous to be. Jeff, couple plays from me tonight that I'm going to go ahead.
It's like how they forgive me, right, Donnie?
Obvious.
You know how many times I've heard, you're done. You're never going to get anything else in this business.
Nadu sucks.
You suck. You arrogant asshole.
Cole Nato. You bitch, Nato. Yeah.
Yeah, you suck. What do you even do exactly? You always hear the same things, but here's the thing. I perform.
Yeah. Jeff always brings it here. And by the way, Phillies, Washington Nationals. I like one side of this equation. You already went over it. Like Zach Littell's a horrible pitcher. I have him 24th, Jeff. Out of 24 rated pitchers here, he's dead last. But Jesus Luzardo got number 2 on the card. He's filthy. So I'm going to root on the over. And I think, Jeff, let's get the over just with the Phillies themselves. You don't have to sweat this one because Zach Littell cannot get anybody out. And if you take a look, Jeff, last 30 days against lefties, 61 lefties he's faced, Jeff. How about a 291 ISO and a weighted on base percentage of 382 and a K rate of 14.8%? That's not good enough. Let's take a look at the entire season here for Zach Littell against lefties, Jeff. How about 173 batters, 355 ISO, which is even worse, and a 414 weighted on base percentage and a strikeout component on the year of under 10%. So I went in that lineup and said, you know what? Schwarber is always a good option to get an RBI because he can hit a home run. But I want to go a little bit deeper into the lineup. So I went Harper behind him at number 3. 422 ISO, by the way, against right-handed pitching over the past month. And Brandon Marsh, 61 at-bats, 263 ISO. Both of them extremely high weighted on base percentages. I took a flyer on both of those guys and came up with some of those odds. Plus 149 on Harper and plus 162 on Marsh. Give me both of them, awesome. Give me one of them, still a pretty good day at this point, Jeff. Cubs and the Metropolitans today. Now, as you talked about, Jeff, in our area in the Northeast, might have some weather concerns in this game. 70-degree temperatures, rain is in the forecast. It is what it is. But for me, I'm looking from a Mets perspective, Jeff, going up against Edward Cabrera. His last 30 days, Jeff, he's faced 60 batters, 364 ISO, and a 421 weighted on base percentage, which is ridiculous. So I'm going to do the same thing. Give me the lefties in the lineup. Carson Bench, leadoff batter, 348 weighted on base percentage. His last 84 at-bats against righties, Jeff. And then, of course, Juan Soto, 293 ISO, 419 weighted on base percentage. Take a look at this price point, Jeff, this morning for Bench to get an RBI, plus 272. Soto, plus 155. One of those two guys hits and gets an RBI, that's all we asked for. Just like last night, I had 4 of those guys. One guy sat out, so it was down to 3, picked up 2 RBI, 1. And again, when you lose these, it's like, hey, minus 180, minus 190, they stink. But when you lose like a plus 250, there's no juice attached on that end, so you're just looking to get one of those victories. Now, Jeff. Go ahead.
One of the most important things about winning and betting on sports is you have to understand and you have to look at it night by night. And the only goal you should have is, I just want to make money,
correct,
whether I do it or not. So if I can just hit 2 or 3, I can limit juice. That's exactly what you want. And by the way, in that Met Cub game, you can see some runs. Kota Senga sucks.
Does suck.
He stinks.
And by the way, Jeff, real quick, we're going to get, I don't want to hijack this, we're going to get it. Right off the bat, Ronaldo in the 6th minute, back of the
Beautiful.
net.
There you go.
Minus 185, you cashing the ticket down there. Hold on, let me get some action out here for the people, huh?
Now here's what you do. Woo! Sub him off and win 3-0.
Ronaldo, he's back, Jeff. Him or Kane. Look at that. Flash came. I might have to get Flash back on the air. I'm like, you know what? 6 minutes into the game, cashing that ticket out. By the way, real quick, Jeff, Diamondbacks Cardinals here. I do have some RBI action in this one as well, and we'll get back to the soccer talk in just a few moments. You take a look at Eduardo Rodriguez, left-handed pitcher, Jeff. What are lefties sometimes bad at? Getting right-handed batters out. His last 85 batters he's faced, a 307 ISO against and a 391 weighted on base percentage. Just doing the same thing, Jeff. Middle of that lineup, Walker and Velasquez here. High ISOs, high weighted on base percentages. Last 30 days against lefties, I took a plus 186 and a plus 160 there. Then late night, Jeff. They're all mine. I got 6-packs. So what I'm actually hoping for, Jeff, as you said, 3 and 3 in there. Pays the bills. Heck, even depending on the combination, 2 and 4 is going to be a really good payday. Baltimore late night tonight. Take a look at Ryan Johnson as a pitcher. Hasn't been very good. Came back after a month in June. He was bad. Month later is going to get a spot start. Lineup looks solid here. I'll keep it short on the Baltimore Orioles, Jeff. Over 4.5. So I got 6 RBI props. I got 1 team total. Looking for another night, 5 straight days of winning bets here, Jeff. I know you're bouncing back with the fight in Phillies tonight. Give me them runs early, Jeff. Give me a Schwarber early. Give me a Harper bomb early and get after it. So 1 team total, 6 RBIs. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to shout out our guest today. I actually tailed him Orioles first 5, an easy winner against the LA Angels last night. Shout out to Corby Craig on that one. They had, I think, 4 or 5 in the first 5. Great call there. Angels really had nothing going last night. Bradish was really good, and Alder Gary was not good. So great call by Corby.
There you go, man. Look at the guests come on, man. Provide that heat. Give us the information we need. Baseball will continue to roll. And I took Jeff's advice today, too. I was posting these picks, Jeff, before the show. You know what I did now? Put the schedule on there to do it after the show. So you got to watch the boys live here to get that information. Then you get it after the show as you get down. Jeff, well, over that 8.5 runs for himself. I got 6 RBI props that are listed. You'll get that if you follow me. And you should be found at Jeff Nadu. You should be found at Donnie Rightside. You should be following at Crossing Lines, Crossing X Lines here. And then, of course, on the YouTube channel here every single day. I want to see if we get up to 400 subs by the end of this day before we start tomorrow at Crossing Lines Sports TV, doing it big the way we get down. But by the way, Jeff, real quick on this one, Portugal 1-0. Think it's going to be a 3-0? What do you think?
Hope. I mean, I did take a little Portugal on under 3.5 plus 105. I'm hoping. My units have been cut down on this. Maybe we'll be better longer term in this tournament, but it's been tough. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not the sharpest guy in the world. I'm not claiming that.
Yeah.
I do generally like to, though, fade. Again, I've bet against the U.S. I'm not betting these Messi to score type bets. I'm not doing that. But it's funny, Donnie. We got this NBA draft. You look at the first pick overall in like the last half hour. Peterson plus 775 now to be the number 1 pick. So, I mean, a lot of info and intel coming in. And look, Washington's been very tight-lipped on what they're doing, but it sounds like the Bonds is going to be the
It's the right pick, no doubt about it here at this point, Jeff. Now, look, we love a lot of good stuff here on the show. And yes, if you guys have questions out there in the chat box, let it rip. If it's something that you think Jeff needs to hit on still for the NBA draft, let us know. If you want Jeff's best bet, which he's going to give out a little bit later here, Jeff, don't answer that question at all. Anything you got, hot topics, you want to play me in Battlefield 6, let me know in the chat box here. Look, by the way, Jeff, what do you think my gamer tag is? What would you think it is? Not hard.
Donnie Rightside? I don't know.
Boom, dang. Big winner, Jeff. You got it. You know what? Let's get the applause meter out here.
Donnie wrong side.
Stuff, man. That's sensational. Yeah, come on. Who's behind there? There's going to be that can behind the scenes, Donnie Wrongs. By the way, has anybody ever heard that before? By the way, shout out this too, because we're going to get into some hot topics right now, which is my favorite part of the show to talk to Jeff about. But the one thing I've always loved about Jeff, and I can be more in the mix now. When you do different shows and different things, they want a more plain personality on Twitter. Jeff understands that. But where Jeff really carves in, I've missed this stuff. A guy getting on Jeff yesterday because I got Jeff Nadu's shirt. So we're going to bring that up in just a second as how that looks. And, it's the hottest thing on the streets. But somebody getting after me saying, I'm gargling Jeff's balls. I can't believe this. From a guy named Jeff. The dude's name was Jeff.
Yeah, I know that guy. That guy's
Come on.
He's a goof. I blocked him a long time ago. There's these people. I mean, it looks like we have one of them in the chat. This T-Knot guy. He's calling us losing lines instead of cross line. The guy's a tout.
Though? Why?
In the show, touting his nonsense. Complete goof. I mean, all these people would literally cut their arm off to do what I'm doing. However, I remember when they used to call us, they would say, Donnie wrong side, Jeff Nadone.
Jeff Nadone. Look at it, by the way. Look at his shirt. Now, here, let's go on a timeline for this shirt, Jeff. Because you know me. When you have something to sell, cigars, who buys them? Your boy. When you're going to fight in the ring and you want some support, who wears it fight night here while I was doing a live radio show? Me. Soon as I saw this and Jeff said it here, I had to have been the first one to buy that. I bought it immediately. And this thing is on its way. I hope it doesn't take 1 to 2 weeks to get here. I bought that immediately, Jeff. And my favorite picture of all that is the picture of you down below with the hands up. Now, was that when you were dancing in your room?
Yeah,
when was that from?
I remember that night in particular. That was, I think it was Christmas Eve. I remember I was going to go out that night and it was cold and I was just thinking about going to the shore and how I'd used to dance. But so that shirt is actually fire. I didn't create it. They created it for me for my birthday. And it's doing well from what I've heard. So people are buying it. I'll give a few away maybe. If people want.
By the way, yes, give them out to the people, Jeff. They'll wear them. They'll support you at this point right here. By the way, it says, Jack Falk says, why does the shirt color look like the gay pride flag? Come on, I don't think it looks like the gay pride flag, does it? Is it rainbowy? It's more metallic for me, right?
Weird thing is, why do you know what that looks like?
No. By the way, the top part looks like a trans flag. And then, by the way, who said this here? Need Donnie to wear it on the show at 1,000. I'm telling you, the minute that gets to my house, the very next show, hashtag Nadu comes right on here. By the way, it might be here, Jeff, when you're not even here.
Yeah, I think it'll come pretty quickly. So hopefully you enjoy it. That should be fun. It'll be nice to see you have it on, and go check it out if you want to buy it.
By the way, Jeff, I love fans, and again, I love the World Cup. I think it's fantastic. I love 4 games a day here. I love the knockout stage. I don't care if teams are getting blown out. Superstars are scoring. I love to watch it. You got a game on at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, something for everybody. Now, I'm going to get angry a little bit down the line that the U.S. is going to play a game at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is absolutely ridiculous. But we do have to understand it is the world's game, and it's not always on our time zone, I should say, and reflection. But Jeff, Nordics, man, the Vikings coming here. The row, sensational. You know what I get pissed off at in the NFL? I think it's corny. Like this, Jeff. Yeah. Skull. I don't like the skull. This, I love. I love the row. I love it.
Yeah, the row's cool. They got a great fan base there. And I'll tell you what, that's a good side, man. They can really score. It'd be fun to watch them against, a team that's going to go up tempo and go up the field as well. But, they've been in this kind of area as well, the New Jersey, New York area, I think. At least yesterday they were. Haaland's great, man. He just can take a game over at any time, which is what a superstar does. But, some of the fan bases in this tournament have been great, whether it be, Norway or England or Scotland or whoever.
Like, what's the U.S. fans? They're just annoying. Like, that's their trademark. Like, every team has like crazy fan base. Is what they do. Like, I love that. Like, by the way, you line up against them on like a Peloton machine where you got to row against them. Jeff Nordic's going to lay you the hell out, man.
Absolutely.
Out,
no, they all. I was reading into Haaland's diet. Yeah. How he eats. Did you hear about that? Go
ahead. Yeah, I did hear this. Tell it.
So from what I understand, they shipped nearly 1,000 pounds of food from Norway.
I think it was more. Yeah.
To America, right? Which, the one thing, there's a lot of things about this country that are getting worse and worse, but we really do eat horrifically bad here, which
you're right.
I would strongly urge anybody, as someone who lost a bunch of weight and got a little healthier, you really should start to limit some of the things you're eating. It is really bad for you. But they eat a lot cleaner, right? They don't eat, this processed crap. You look at around America, you go to most states, it's all you see, right? You Burger King and Taco Bell and all that stuff. And look, is it good food? Yeah, but is it bad for you? Absolutely. Got to give them a lot of credit. You're a soccer player. You need to eat some of the best food in the world. You need to eat clean. You need to eat protein. Good for them for doing that. And his diet was crazy. Sounds really good too. One thing about Vegas, Donnie, that I'm looking forward to, I never have claimed to be that world traveler type. Yeah. I actually think traveling's super overrated. The only time traveling's fun is when you're really rich and you could just go get your own plane and hey, take me here.
Yep.
But I'm staying at one of my favorite hotels, and there is nothing better to me. I don't eat breakfast much. I love a good in-room dining breakfast.
Do you?
I love it. Love it. You know who has the best in-room dining in the world?
Who?
Ocean Resort.
I love the Ocean Resort. Like you're talking about just room service.
Yeah, right. Room service. Like the breakfast at Ocean, a nice omelet with some bacon, some wheat toast, a little coffee, very light. The absolute best.
Just get yourself going. By the way, 2-0 now, Portugal. Mendes in the 17th minute as Portugal starts to run away here from Uzbekistan at this point. So, like the over 1.5 coach says there, well, that catches him very easily. Kilkenny's out there in the chat box having some fun. Bringing that heat. I love it. I love it here. Sitting here talking some action on a Tuesday. But by the way, Jeff, you know what else I need out of you? We're going to talk about that in 1 second here. This, thing that Jeff brought up with that millionaire stuff. But how about this one? I need a contest that people need to send in for us. Like we have so many things that we can do in the fall and have some fun with. Jalen Brunson. Did you see the mini Jalen Brunson? Like they had an entire day sectioned off where if you were in New York City, and Jeff, I'm telling you, they had 10 or 15 people that looked exactly like Jalen Brunson. Do you have a doppelganger out there that anybody has sent you pictures of, Jeff? You know that who's the guy I'm thinking about on ESPN, the bald head dude? Scott Van Pelt. Look at him. See a little mini jet. Look at his face. Looks AI. That is Brunson, except he is probably 5.1 at this point. I would love to see a doppelganger of Jeff Nadu. Give you the same lineup here, same type of somebody.
I do have one.
Jeff. Who is it?
Yeah, so I used to get this on my mob channel a lot. There's a guy, he does prison content. Very big guy. Does a lot of hip-hop news. 1090 Jake. I've heard people say I look a lot like him. If you can get him up, a lot of people have said older 1090 Jake I look a lot like, but I don't know that I have one. Some people have said
too unique. You might be too unique, Jeff.
Some people slightly have said, that guy in the town, the guy that drives the cars.
Yeah.
That's how you drive a fucking car.
Yeah.
Some people have said that guy. I don't see that. But yeah, 1090 Jake I've gotten a lot. Some people have said I look like 890 Jake, his father. So yeah, 1090 Jake might be one. Bring him up.
Yeah. I mean, look, have some fun there. Kilkenny's out there saying Dale Earnhardt Jr. A lot of people used to say back in the day, I could be Phillip Rivers, fill in or double if I was any taller at this point right now. So yes, I mean, you know what I mean? Some people come up with some pretty good stuff where you don't think about it and say hey man, show a picture side by side. Even Pochettino, absolute doppelganger. The U.S. wins the World Cup, which again, Jeff says they won't happen. I'm a better believer than that, but you want to talk about, people that can play him here, man. Absolutely. There's many people out here.
You do look like Phillip Rivers. People used to say it to me all the time. They're yo, he looks just like Phillip Rivers. I said, I don't think he's as tall as Phillip Rivers. He doesn't have as many kids as
Phillip Rivers, yeah. I do like the curse at times. I know Phillip Rivers doesn't, but yeah, man, it's the way it is. So look at that. Everybody can have their own doppelganger out at this point. By the way, we were putting this up just a few moments ago. And Jeff, you talk about squares. Like, it just sounds like this could never hit, but sounds too easy when it does. Look at this. All you needed was $100 and 2 World Cup parlays to become a millionaire. Now, granted, probably nobody did this, and rightfully so. And I don't even think there was even odds where you can say, like, okay, these guys are going to score 2, like at the start of their first games here. But if you would have done that, Jeff, 2 goals, $1 million off of $100 here for multiple goals by multiple guys. And when you saw yesterday, Jeff, a lot of people just had it yesterday. 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals. Haaland, Mbappe, and also Messi. And it was $100 paid back like $13,000 or $14,000. Like, books are getting beat to hell, Jeff.
No, they are. I'd love to talk to like a book manager to see where they are with this tournament. They've gotten crushed. I do have to admit something, Donnie. I last night I was really in on myself because I was out running yesterday, and that Norway game is coming up. And I mentioned on this show, I like the over. I like Norway plus 120 as well. I was going to do, I don't play parlays, but I was going to play Norway, the over, and Haaland to score any time.
Yeah.
Would have been a really nice payout. I totally forgot, didn't even play it. What could have been? I'm just not at a good tournament with this. It's just a lot of bets that I haven't made, that I should have made. It's just been kind of
probably get easier for you though once the big boys get into it versus big boys, as opposed to all these filletings as we like to put out here. But I got a funny video, Jeff. Like, you used to be the big man on campus. I mean, there's pictures out there where, you know, Jeff was a much bigger guy than he is now. Basically lost half of himself. But this soccer player, Jeff, looks like he gets after it here. Have you seen the one where the comments are like, he's called Delicious Junior? The next one is Hungry Kane. Like, look at some of the names. Delicious Junior comes up there. Hungry Kane. What's the next one here that we have? Come on. Oh, it's just a quick. Eating Haaland. Cristiano McDonaldo. But Jeff, something, look, say what you want about big men. There are some ballet dancers that are big men out there, particularly in the NFL, like left and right tackle here. Just because there's a big man don't mean he can move. Like, this dude's got fleet of feet. Thierry Hungry, one of those names. He's got some good names. The
problem is, play soccer, you have to be able to run, and he can't run by more than 10 feet. It's almost like, you know, when they would have these fighters that were fat and big, whatever. Yeah, like they can throw a punch for like 10 seconds, but then they're completely useless. Look at that guy, Derek Lewis, in the UFC. Like, he looks like he would beat to shreds anybody, but he can only fight for like 10 seconds.
That's it, man. You got to lay that. You got to put, like in Rocky V, but it's like, hey, man, we're going to train you for like 2 rounds. That's all you got at that age. But when you're that heavy, he's got to run around a lot, man. Tire that man out. But that man, Carmel Benzema, there you go, man. He's got some really good names in there as we go. But by the way, Jeff, you know the time it is right now, because we know you love the Sopranos. We know you love to get after it. And also, maybe a little bit of a theme here with defending big men. And one of those big men, no doubt about it, was James Gandolfini, a.k.a. Tony Soprano. What was the movie that was on? Is it called The Castle, where he was like the general in order? Yeah. And the thing that I love that movie, Robert Redford starred in it. But again, when he talks out of his dialect that I'm used to, it really upsets me. Like the times that I thought were hilarious, when he went on Saturday Night Live, absolutely phenomenal. And he went on the David Letterman show with the rest of the cast. When he's himself, it's so fun to watch. But Jeff, talk to me, mob life, outside of mob life, sometimes people just have it, man. They just got it.
You know, that's why that episode that we're talking about, it's a great episode, because I think one thing about Tony Soprano that I think we also have to understand is, like, when it came to women, he was very good at getting them. And it wasn't because he was an attractive guy, really. Women, and I always say this, women like a guy that could just command a room, right? He just turns heads, as power. And Tony had that. He had respect. He had power. You know, and you look at in that episode, you know, the girl Sarah Shahi, she's a great actress. She played a side piece of another character, and Tony went out to try to get some of his orders in line. He had died, and she kind of fell into him. She loved him, and she had talked about the actress that, like, in real life, she found him like incredibly sexy. Like, she did not want to stop kissing him. She was like very interested in him, and I've talked to a bunch of really attractive women that have told me, like, I found Tony Soprano to be so attractive. And it wasn't, and I've noticed in real life, like a lot of friends I have, they're very average looking to below average. It's all about confidence. It's all about making a girl laugh, being normal, just making them feel comfortable. You know, having a couple of dollars don't hurt either. But women like power. If you don't have power, they just like respect. And you being confident. And I think if you watch the show, Tony was always very commanding. He was a leader. He had some power. Yeah, and you take any East Coast guy, you put him on a West Coast, they're always going to look a little out of place, and it's a little bit different from the norm. Go to Vegas, Donnie, and I bet any West Coast girl will say she likes the East Coast guy. It's just a good vibe.
Just going out to Vegas, and by the way, doing the peyote outside. They were gambling at Caesar's Palace. They were having a good time there. But the one stuff that always, like the episodes that you get back to just flash in your mind. Do you remember Kaisha, where Christopher was dating the realtor but made up Kaisha? And he goes and talks to the realtor, and Tony catches him. He's like, whoa, caught him off guard. Like, what are you guys talking about? Box set, Luther Vandross. That's when it always makes me laugh at that with the whole realtor thing versus Tony, who you knew he was pissed off about that here, but just the power of he couldn't get that woman. It just made him so angry. And they had to make up like, hey, why don't you bring your girlfriend around? And, Kaisha, like, you guys would make fun of it. Like, hey, yeah, we would.
Well, it goes back to like this thought about. I've always been fascinated by rappers. They love the mafia, right? They call themselves Yo Gotti or like, like
Irv Gotti.
They rap about the mob and stuff. But if you look at 95% of mob guys, they're very racist. They hate any type of person that's not Italian. And, in that show, if you look back, I mean, incredibly racist by, like in that episode, Bobby makes a comment. You're dating, he's blown away by it.
That's why he was hiding it on that crutch where you can't bring, I guess, an African American or a black woman around them because you will get your balls busted here.
And you look at the only
as Kaisha, so I can get away with it because I'm never bringing Kaisha.
Right, never bringing her around, right? Yeah. And the only guy that dated black women in the show was Hesh, who is not Italian, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But she died. Yeah, Renata dies. It's a sad episode for sure. That's when Tony,
massive genius in the boys, man. There were some good conversations.
One of the worst,
and Tony, man.
One of the worst characters in the show was Massive Genius.
Why? Come on, fill me in real quick.
When I come back from Vegas, we have to do. So I've done a lot of Sopranos content over the years.
We have plenty
worst
of time,
characters. I've done worst, like lower level characters. There were some really bad lower level characters in the show. I like Jason and Justin Blendetto, Tony Blendetto's little kids. Like they were some bad characters.
Pine cones in the pool.
Like Hernan, you know who he is?
I know
DJ's
Hernan,
goofy friend.
He
was like obviously Jamal Ginsburg, the Hasidic homeboy was brutal. But Massive Genius is one of the worst characters in the show. Just it was too early in the show. It was not authentic enough. It could have been such the worst episode in the show to have.
Yeah. Then Christopher goes in, hey, what's it going to take to cash some checks around here to get some burgers in here? And it's like just fake background noise at this point. You're embarrassing, Christopher. Yeah. No, it was.
But he's super racist in that scene. He's like talking about Mark Furman and stuff. Like he's super racist. But one other thing real quick before we go. So I interviewed Vito, Joe Ganascoli.
Yes.
Have you ever heard like some of the stuff about him in like real life compared like about the show?
Now, correct me because I know you have private stories in it, but the word I got is like a lot of times, and let's just say Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, walks into a pizza joint, right? Oh my God, it's Tony Soprano. Can I have your picture? Come on over, take a picture of me. You do that to Vito? You reach in your wallet for the guy. Is that true? Are those stories correct?
Yeah, so I have a long history with him, actually. So I've interviewed him, and he didn't remember the run-in I had with him many years ago. But on my 18th birthday, Donnie, okay, now The Sopranos had just ended. I'm in Ocean City, and I have a family friend. He comes to my birthday. We have a little cake and stuff. He goes, get in a car. He goes, I want to take you to meet somebody. You're going to love this. And I thought, okay, Italian guy that I know. I said, okay, this is cool. So we pull up to the Hobby Horse, Ethan Ocean in Ocean City. It's an ice cream parlor. That next door to it, there's a cigar bar, right? It's like a second room, real dingy spot. It'd be like where you'd go and like have a sit down or something. We go up there. There's a bunch of wise guys up there, like a bunch of wise guys.
Yeah.
And I see this real fat guy sitting on the stool, and it's Vito, Joe Ganascoli.
Yep. And
he's there bullshitting, having a cigar, talking. And I said to my family friend, I said, wow, this is a great present. I'm going to get to meet Vito. And he goes, yeah, go say hello. And I go over him. I say hello. I said, hey, Joe. I said, I'm a huge fan. I said, I love the show. He goes, thanks. He goes, thanks, kid. I said, wow, this is so like cringy. But I asked him, I said, can I have a picture with you? I would love your autograph. This was back when I was like 18.
Yeah.
He's like, no problem. He goes, did you get a book? I said, no. He goes, well, grab a book. He goes, I'll sign it. I go over, the book's $20. And I'm like, my family friend's just like, all right, I'll just buy the book, I guess. I buy the book.
You have
and I
it
go
still?
over and he signs it. But this is the big kicker, Donnie. This fat slob is eating a bunch of pizza. There's pizza grease all over the book. I still have the book. There's red
so he wasn't
grease.
still losing weight at that point?
No,
like
no.
Let me
No,
get
he
those new cuffs.
No, but the lure of the
Cufflinks?
Sopranos and Giannis is like the cast hate him. Like he hawks his merchandise all the time. He's actually a pretty nice guy though nowadays. But yeah, I still have the book. The book's called A Meal to Die For, and it's got pizza grease on it.
Yeah, by the way, Northfield in our area, a lot of those things, commercials where Jackie Jr. runs through there, the FBI guy goes through there. It's a pizza shop down that I guess somebody has like a connection to that show where they feel. I think even Vito was down there promoting like a sandwich that he had or something like that. So I love talking about stuff like that. And there's going to be so much more because we are going to need lists to get through this summer before football season.
There's a video.
Terrible
I'll send it to you.
Characters and all that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a video I'll send you. There's a YouTube account, Center Ranter. He's a great YouTuber.
Yeah.
He basically just talks about theories on like Sopranos and Oz and other shows. Yeah. He did a 2-part show on like Joe Ganascoli's exploits with like fans and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like he'll go on like message boards and like call women like awful shit if they say bad things about it. Like he's a mean guy actually, but a great character though.
By the way, we're going to get out of here. Obviously, you guys know we got some baseball coming up. Portugal up 2-0. Uzbekistan scored, Jeff, but they took the goal away, so still 2-0, about 32, 33 minutes in. NBA draft is tonight, Jeff. Leave them with something that they can maybe sink their teeth into that you got.
Yeah, so obviously I played really small units on Peterson to go number one. Again, just took a flyer. I think it's a little much closer than that price. Two, I think ones that are pretty strong. Adai Mara under 9.5. Yeah. I don't think he gets past the Hawks or Mavs. I think the Hawks really could use a big. And I think the Mavs with the connection to Dusty may make a lot of sense. This is my favorite, Nate Ament under 10.5. The Bucks have talked about they love Nate Ament. And now with the losing Antetokounmpo, I think Nate Ament is a perfect fit. A guy who oozes a lot of potential. Never totally really hit at Tennessee. He was a really good player. Nothing crazy, but I think he makes a lot of sense for the Bucks at 10. I relate this a lot to some of my NFL picks. I hit perfectly on some of them as far as where a guy was going to go. He makes a lot of sense to the Bucks at 10. I like Nate Ament under 10.5.
There you go. We got everything covered. I knew this show was going to be great. I knew the topics were hitting home. The chat box was absolutely fantastic. Flash was great on the show. It's what we do Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern to 1:30 p.m. given time. We have some fun. Sometimes we go over there. So great week in action here. We ask of you one thing here. If you're watching the show live and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Like and comment here. If you see the clips come by later on, you missed the show, check them out as well. But more importantly, social media, give us a shout out. We'll shout you back here. It's just what we do, Jeff. Building this up on Crossing Lines day by day. Tomorrow, would love to see 400 plus subs here on the YouTube channel. Building it, Jeff, as we go. Feels good, right? Does.
Yeah, we're building it day by day. You know, it's the middle of the summer. We're having a good time. Yep. Shout out to everybody that watches and listens in the show. Good luck with all your plays today. Good luck with, the NBA draft. I love the NBA. I know a lot of people don't love the drafts and that sort of thing. But, Donnie, real quick before we go.
Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
It seemed like this, spring and summer have been insanely long.
Yeah, that has. And it always
College
feels like
football was 6 years ago.
Yeah. Like we really need, and again, we have 1 week roughly here in the month of June. We flip it over to July. Again, training camps are starting. So much more fun on the horizon. But that's why we wanted to get in ahead of the curve here. Let's get the foundation built, which we're doing right now. And I'm telling you guys, wait until we get to August and we take off like a rocket. No SpaceX here. It's Jeff Nadu. It's Donnie Rightside.
And in by mid-July, we'll start our daily team previews. We'll start Arizona Cardinals all the way to the end.
Everything all the way through. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in once again. We will be back tomorrow. Same bat place, same bat channel, 12 p.m. Eastern. For Donnie Rightside, Jeff Nadu, and everybody behind the scenes here at Crossing Lines, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow.